What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to talk about the Gallardo and how the ownership is, how's it going so far. I'm 2 months in and technically I've been using the car for, let's say, a 1 month because the first part of it, I was doing maintenance and all that stuff. So it was mainly being worked on. The smog stuff took a while, so that ate up a lot of ownership time. But I think the 1 month after that is a good kind of it's a good experience. So I have some things that I can talk about now, like for as an initial ownership experience. So I'm gonna start with how am I generally liking the Gallardo so far, this specific one. And I'm gonna say I actually love it. So I actually love this car. So which is really surprising for me because I'd never really paid attention to Gallardos. Because previously I had a F430. If you're shopping for that kind of price range car, you're kind of shopping between Gallardos, 360, F430, that kind of range. If your choices are in that area, so you'll be looking at this car, one of these cars. So I never paid attention to Gallardos. I don't know. Maybe I was like snobby or something like that. I don't. I didn't mean to be. It's just that I never paid attention to it. I wanted the F430 initially. I wasn't gonna get anything else but the F430. So now that I was able to find this specific one, this specific spec is what I wanted. So not that it's like super special, but it's special enough that it's not common. So this is the Nera edition. It's not like it doesn't really matter in terms of Gallardos in general because you want the Super Leggera or an LP. That's mainly what everyone wants. But for me specifically, I wanted a 5 liter and I wanted the Nera edition because I like black cars. And for a black car, this is a little bit more special than that because of the Nera color scheme. So, which is the matte finish, the white interior inserts, and everything like that. So it kind of just goes well together. For a stock car, it just looks great. Like matte wheels. I just love it. So this is the spec. Like I really love it. So it's like it just came at the right time where like okay, I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a try. And in terms of just in general, I really love it. I don't have any issues with it. Looks wise, it looks amazing. For now it's 2020. We're in 2024. The car looks like it could still be current. It's not. It doesn't look dated. I mean, the inside, sure. The infotainment system is dated, but you don't really. I don't really use it. Because the car sounds amazing. The 5 liter is arguably better sounding than the LP. So it's like I said, it's arguable. It's preference. So people want the newest and the latest and greatest. You get the LP, but if you're particular about how your car wants to sound or feel, some people choose the pre-LP. So that's just preference. But the parts are interchangeable. You can change your bumper, rear bumper. You can make it an LP if you want to. So let's talk about the looks more. I guess I'll go more into that. Not a lot of people like the rear end of the pre-LP. So one for me, throughout my ownership in the first month here, I actually don't mind it. So I don't know. I mean, initially, sure, I can see why people like the LP, but I don't mind this one. I actually borderline love it because of I like how the vents are. I also like how this is here. So I'm kind of curious how they eliminated this part on the LP because there's heat coming out of here. So I don't know why because the LP one is just solid. So I'm not sure. I'm sure it's better. It's still a better car. It's better functioning. So maybe you don't need this. But after a long drive, you do feel some heat out here. So I don't know. Maybe it's better. The cooling ducts are better on the LP. That you don't need that. But I kind of like the look of this. So I like the look of this. You see this in your rear view sometimes if you're depends on your angle. You see this and it looks pretty good. So I like that. And the Some people put the Superleggero wing. I'm in that boat right now where I'm kind of on borderline, kind of want to put the Superleggero wing on this car, but I'm actually torn if I really want to do that because this is an active aero wing. So at 70 miles per hour, you see this on your rear view mirror go up, like it just tilts like this, and it looks really cool. I don't know, like I said, it's one of those things that you just don't know until you own the car and you actually use the car. If you're just looking at it from afar and you're comparing cars because you're shopping for a Gallardo and you don't know insights from ownership, you will have the cookie cutter things that you want to have. You're like, oh, I want the Superleggero wing. I want an LP because that's what everyone says they want. But if you actually what I'm trying to provide here is my point of view, and not to justify my own car, but this is just my perspective because I wanted those same things that the internet is saying, but now I have a change of a different feeling now. So my own preference. So going back to the wing, it does go up and it looks so cool from the rear view mirror and also in the back when someone's following you. They see this go up at 70 miles per hour. It just looks cool. The glass. So everyone wants the glass. Of course, you want to see the engine, right? So this one you cannot see it. That's true. So I also oh, I wish I had a glass to look at, because my F430 had a glass and it's nice. But there's the vents here actually are super functional. So I'm curious about the glass. I'm sure it's not a big deal because, of course, if it's a big deal, it's gonna be mentioned everywhere. But this one with the vents here actually is super functional as well, where a lot of heat comes out of it after a drive. So for me, if it's functional and you can see through there. It's completely see through. You completely go through. So water will go. It's completely an airflow system here. So I kind of like it because it's functional. I like it. I like the vents. I like the vents here. It's starting to look good. It's starting to look really good. The LP has I think two exhaust tips usually. Yeah, I think so. And then the vent goes continuously this way. And the taillights are just here and not at the top. So the back end, if you're looking at the back end, it's arguable. Like I said, it's preference. For me, I'm starting to like this one. I'm sure if I have an LP, I'll appreciate that as well. But I really appreciate this body style more now that I own it and I'm actually looking at it all the time. Like I don't have the urge to I'm gonna change my bumper or taillights because I want the LP look. I don't have that urge as an owner. And take that as you may because this is my car. So I mean, I'm not trying to justify it. I'm trying to be objective. So the rear diffuser is also different on the LP. It's more aggressive, I would say. And let's see. I think it's more aggressive. It looks about the same shape. So other than that, looks wise, the bumper. Some people want the sharper LP bumper. This is the kind of a stubby one. Actually, when I go to car meets, I actually get told by people that they actually prefer the pre-LP body style, and that kind of catches me by surprise because I don't expect a lot of people to say that, and that's actually pretty cool. So for me personally, I like both. I like this and I like the other one. So for me right now, I'm loving this as a package, how this car is, specifically this car. Yep, so the inside, as you can see, not much to see. You got the white interior, diamond stitching. The only thing that I would note is I am 6'2". I'll just sit on this side. It's hard, there's a wire on that one. So I am 6'2", and as you can see, I'm a little. I have to really recline the back the seat here, but my head, I feel my hair a little bit touching the ceiling here. It's a tight fit for me, I would say, but it works. I can make it work. The roof line on the Gallardo is very very low, much lower than the F430. So I do feel my hair rubbing on this uh, headliner here, so I have to recline a little bit further back, and just to see. So I have to lean forward just to see the light as well. But other than that, it's really cool to sit in here. It just looks like a straight up spaceship to me. So for, this is they call it the baby Lambo, but to me it gives you the full experience of being in a supercar. It feels more like a supercar than the F430 to me, because of the angle of the windows, and not because of the lack of visibility, but it just the angle of everything. It just feels more of a spaceship to me than the F430. The F430 feels more like a sports car, like a basic sports car inside. That's just my personal take. You can argue about that. That's I'm not trying to say that it is what it is. It's just how my perspective. So yeah, so you have a Lamborghini embossed here. This is specific to the 06, 07 and up, I think. 04, 05s don't have this. So there is some updates between so there is the first generation and second generation Gallardo, and the first generation has two versions, which this is the second version of that. So that's an interesting thing to note as well. What else can I note here? There's, yeah, like I said, the first generation, there's second generation. There's updates. There's minor updates in between those generations. So keep those in mind if you're looking. If you want a Gallardo that you can modify, I think you would want the 04, 05, maybe an 06, not an 07 like mine. Don't get the 07, because mine has super restricted sensors, and it just goes haywire as soon as you change something. So I advise not to get the 07. But other than that, it's a really nice car to drive. All-wheel drive. I'm gonna keep the all-wheel drive system. I don't have the urge to make it all rear-wheel drive. I'm gonna keep this car as original as I can. I modified the exhaust, within legal limits of me being in California. But other than that, I can't do pretty much else. Maybe wheels. I don't know. I need to own the car a little bit longer for me to decide that. Let's look at the engine bay, I guess. I'll open that up so you guys can see. That's the, I don't know, I think that's the fuel pump priming every time you open the door. All right. Actually, for the price though, it seems like you're getting more with the Gallardo than the F430. I don't know. That's arguable, but that's my perspective from getting my F430 and then now having this car. It seems like you're getting more with this car than that one. I don't know. It's like a subjective thing, but that's just my impression on it. Yeah, so you can't really see much here. You can change this to much nicer, maybe carbon fiber, because it's all worn with the heat and everything. So I might do that just to make it look nicer in here. So yeah, if you have a glass here, it's just solid. So that kind of makes me feel, why I have a big vent here, and when you have a glass, you don't have those vents. So you're trapping more heat in the engine bay. So the F430 has vents on the side of the glass, but the Gallardo, I'm not sure if it does. I have to look at it closer. But from what I could see, there's not an obvious vent near the glass of it. So yeah, so, and also this is just black. The Ferrari's red. So if you have a glass, the engine bay pops on the F430 versus this is just black. Some people color it, but I'm a OEM plus type of guy, so I don't do any of that extra stuff. Stock air boxes. Yeah, stock air boxes. I can't really modify much here. So yeah, I have titanium valved exhaust down here. That's, if only you could see it. Man, it looks amazing. The color changed to blue. Yeah, and I can actually do that, because if you have glass, I think you have to be a little bit more careful. So this is just all steel, metal, or aluminum, something like that. So yeah. Other than that, what else can I say? Ownership. Yeah. So the initial maintenance I went through fine. Nothing else is going on. Never had another check engine light. I've been driving it. I think I drove it 3 times straight. One time, just going to like events, car meets, and stuff like that. And they're like 30 minutes, 45 minutes drives each. 50-minute one time. So I drove it quite a bit. I mean, for a month anyway, drove it quite a bit. The all-wheel drive system is great, gives you confidence during accelerations. The steering is a little heavy because it's all-wheel drive. Also, the turning radius is gonna be a little bit compromised because it is all-wheel drive. I don't really care about that. It's one of those. Oh, one thing that's also pretty cool that you don't get. I don't remember. I don't remember if the F430 had this, but I have a really nice gas cap. But I can't remember if the F430 is this nice. It's like billet aluminum or something like that. It's heavy as hell. It's straight up metal. And it's nice. Like it's just the little things, It's like I don't remember if the F430 had this. I don't think I don't remember if my F430 had this. So apologize if this video is too long. I'm just trying to give you guys kind of like a general, complete overview of ownership. Because there's a lot of things in my mind that popped up, and it's hard for me to organize them. So I started with like just general overview of my thoughts here. So hopefully something is coming up pretty useful. If you're shopping for this car, I would say first off, find a reputable mechanic in your area that you talk to them first and see how they are. If you think you want to work with them, because you need that. You can't just find buy the car and kind of wing it. You shouldn't do that because even if you have a shop in your area that specializes in these cars, try to talk to them and see how they are, because if you're gonna have to work with them constantly, or you happen to have a lot of issues with a car that you bought that's like this, you want to have someone that you can actually talk to and be straightforward with you, because the last thing you want is someone very hard to work with. I don't have that. I'm just saying I have a Roselli's foreign cars. That's my guy. So if I'll ship my cars. If I move away from where he is, I ship my cars to him. I don't care. So finding somebody like that is pretty much invaluable when you're trying to own a supercar or something like that. So it's just, first off, find those shops in your area and try to get to know them. Ask questions about the car that you're buying with that person and see how they are. You gauge their personality, gauge what the shop looks like and how they work. Just gauge, just do your own investigations with that, and then because that would give you a peace of mind while owning this car, that if anything happens, that you can take care of it. That there's it's not gonna be hell for you trying to get things done or fixed. So I think that's the biggest advice I can give you in this particular video, is that if you're shopping for a car like this or any other exotics, is finding the right mechanic that you can work with. What else? So I mean, I don't have anything else to mention. I mean, the '07 car has it has its own wear and tear. I bought the touch-up paint for the rock chips, and I took my time, like 30 minutes, and just tried my best to fix that. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna clear bra it, because if I do, I need to make sure that I want to keep the car first to invest all that money on it. And so I think if I'm gonna invest that money on the PPF, I need to first just pretty much repaint the whole bumper first to make it fresh. But in general, the car just needs a paint correction. It has a lot of swirls. But in general, I'm really surprised at how good the condition is of the car mechanically and cosmetically for a 2007 car. Like I said, I just did the major service, do the smog certification, register. It's registered now, as you can see. I have a plate, and it just works fine for the so far. I'm not speaking to, years later, but who knows? But so far, 1 month in, I'm very impressed with this car. So, for the people that are considering them, I'd say go for it. Just I don't have any reasons for you not to get a Gallardo, unless like there's no reason. Like it's just the price is so good on them. Everyone seems to be looking at other cars right now. There's a lot of new ones. I don't know. I don't really care for the super crazy cars at the moment. I know everything's expensive, so anything that's within reason. For some reason, the Gallardo, it seems like everyone's looking over the Gallardo. No one really cares for them so far, which is surprising. You can get an R8, right? The Gallardo alternative, but they're almost the same price. So you could use some Audi parts on the Gallardo as well. So why bother with an R8 unless you really like that look? I appreciate the R8 look too. I love how it looks. The R8 would be more closer to the LP Gallardo slash a Huracan. So yeah, if you're looking for that kind of feel and technology, then I would say R8, yeah, is the way to go. This pre-LP Gallardo is more Lamborghini than Audi at this point in time. So that's kind of some people, whatever you prefer. This is closer to Lamborghini's design versus Audi, even though it's still Audi, and the LP is in fact Audi, and then R8, so forth. So I don't know. Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's right now. This year's plans, I'm not sure. I want to keep this car for longer. I don't have any reasons to sell it. So other than boredom, if ever, there's no reasons. The car is great. The car is working. It does the job. It does what it needs to do. It does what it's designed to do. It sounds amazing. Yeah. So for a first month, 2 month report, I would give it an A minus, not an A plus, because I did have that hiccup with the smog, and that's how I would grade. I would say A minus. So let's see how it does 6 months in, and I'll give you guys another update if I still have it. I'm sure I still have it because I'm not, like I said, I'm not gonna. In 6 months down the road, maybe in May or June, something like that, I'll give you guys another update on this, or if something happens in between then and now, I'm gonna make another video regardless. But I don't foresee much going on with this. Like I said, I can't really do much because of California. Everything needs to, everything needs to be legal here. So all right. I don't have much else to talk about. Hopefully that kind of give you guys a little bit of insight and maybe helpful information. I do keep it in a battery tender, as you can see here. That eliminates a lot of the electrical gremlins that you might get for a car like this, because keeping the battery topped up is very important. Any slight change in fluctuations in energy on the battery could throw off any sensors here. So to eliminate that issue, just simply plug it in when you're done driving it. Just plug it in. Mine goes into the cigarette lighter in there. Yeah, mine goes into the cigarette lighter in here. Very easy. I just have it plugged in there. It doesn't do anything. So I just leave the window cracked a little bit open like that, and that's it. What would be nice is someday have a V12 right here. Can't. Gotta work hard. I gotta work hard, and have this one in black, and have a V12 right here. Having both in the garage would be so sick. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And let me know if you have any questions about, I guess, supercars in general. I mean, I just have experience with two, but I have some insight, I guess. So if you care about my insight, let me know in the comments. Ask me some questions, and thank you guys for stopping by. Here's give you guys some more shots of the car as we go.